So I am going to hit record and we might as well start. Okay, it is time, isn't it? Yes, it is time. So I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair with my feet flat on the floor, my hands on my lap, my spine nice and tall. And I'm just going to take a minute to get centered here and come into the space. Tune into my body a little bit. Start to notice the breathing. Settle down a little bit. Think about an intention for the class today, maybe, that we will end up feeling better than we started, maybe a little looser, maybe a little taller, maybe just a little more centered in our bodies and comfortable with what we can do. And I'm going to bring my focus very consciously into my breath. And to do that, I'm going to bring my hands in front of my shoulders, palms out. So I'm going to push out on an exhale and pull in on an inhale. And you can do this at whatever pace feels good for you. Try to empty your lungs all the way on the exhale and fill them all the way up on the inhale. And while you're doing that, give some thought to what's happening on your back as you exhale and push your shoulders stretch apart. As you inhale and pull, they squeeze together. And anytime you get lost, just come back to your breath. Beautiful. I'm going to bring my arms down to my sides and let's come into the mountain pose. That's another very good place to start and get grounded and centered. So I've got my feet lined up under my knees. My knees are about hip width apart. I'm sitting on my sit bones and I'm lifted up tall through my spine. I'm going to reach arms out to the sides. I have my palms forward and I'm reaching down and out with my hands. Up with my head. I'm keeping my feet well connected to the floor. I'm trying to feel the earth and the connection there. Feel my connection to the seat. Feel my head reaching up into the clouds like the peak of the mountain, and my arms reaching out and down to the sides like the base of the mountain. I have my shoulders relaxed down, but slightly pinched together and back. And I'm just going to hold this position and breathe a few nice deep breaths. And I'm going to let Jan in. Why, come on in. Have a seat. Pull that seat forward and come on in. And you're always welcome. And you're always welcome. We're in the mountain pose. Oh. And you feel better already. Exactly. Feel free to spread out. Come toward me if you need to. We got plenty of space here. And we're just going to get anchored and centered and strong and mighty like the mountain. And then I'm going to release my arms and give them a wiggle to loosen up. And I actually think we're going to come up to standing next. So we won't stay here long, but let's do a couple of moves from standing. So I have my feet about shoulder width apart, nice and steady. I've got tailbone tucked under just a bit, belly button drawn in, spine nice and tall, shoulders back and down. And then I'm going to reach my arms together in front and up overhead if your shoulders will go there. If not, under your chin is fine. And just reach with your head. Get your spine long. Maybe if your neck doesn't mind, look up at your hands. If that makes you dizzy, skip it. Some people are very uncomfortable in that head back position. And I'm just holding there, feeling the length in the body, continuing to reach upward and still feeling my feet grounded to the floor. I'm going to bring my head back to neutral and take an easy side bend. And I'm taking my time here, giving that time to open up. It feels tight. And then back into the center and side bend the other way, lifting up and out. Back into the center. Let's do a samba roll while we're here. So I'm going to keep my arms up here or under my chin, and I'm just going to roll my rib cage around my spine. As big or as small as feels good for you. And reversing direction. Beautiful. Back in the center, let your arms float down. Give your shoulders a quick, easy roll. It's not, we don't hold our arms up that long, do we? It's a tricky move. Beautiful. Keep your nice wide stance with your feet, and let's do some hip circles. So I'm just going to get on the hula hoop and let the hips go around. Let the back loosen up a little bit. Let the hips loosen up. Imagine you're a piece of limp noodle, right? Nice and wiggly. Good. Let's do some the other way. Excellent. And then we're going to come back to seated, but we're going to do it through the chair pose. So chair pose in the middle. I've got my feet wide-ish apart, a little bit wider than hip distance apart, belly button drawn in. I'm going to reach my arms out and hopefully overhead, and then just push my hips back, back, back. When they can't go back any farther, I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to try to hover right over the chair for just a minute, just a few seconds. And whenever you need to, just go ahead and sit all the way back down. Excellent. That's a good one. It's hard, I know. I know it's hard. I'm going to come into the neck and just take the chin up and down. So it helps if you start nice and tall and well aligned. And then just keep the head in that nice line. Up and down in whatever range of motion feels good. Stay away from places that hurt. Nice. Then with chin in neutral, so chin parallel to the floor, I'm going to just turn my head one way and the other way. And again, I'm just listening for that first bit of resistance. I hit it and I turn around and go the other way. And hopefully what you notice is that after a few repetitions, the point of resistance moves. You can turn just a little bit farther and a little bit farther before it stops you. Beautiful. Back into the center with your head. Give a little tuck of your chin, tilt ear to shoulder, maybe pause there for a second. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, Let your shoulders drop down and then roll the chin to the chest. Let the head roll to the other side. Take a deep breath there and roll it back. And just take your time here, go one way and then the other way. If you find a tight spot somewhere on that path and you want to pause there, go right ahead. It always helps to take a deep breath. Excellent. And I'm coming back into the center. All right, let's take the spine nice and tall. So sit up tall, shoulders back and down, arms hanging down by your sides, and let's do an easy side bend. So just tip to one side, stop when you feel the resistance, and tip to the other side. Good. Back up in the middle. Let's make that a little harder. I'm going to reach my arms out to the sides with my palms up. I'm going to shift my rib cage to one side, bring the arm up overhead, suck in on the belly button as you do that. I'm going to reach over, grab my big beach ball on the side, and keep drawing in on the belly button to keep from falling out of my chair. Holding for just a minute. Take a deep breath. It feels impossible, but it's not. Unwind that top arm, come back into the center, lower your arms, and let's take an easy couple of shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. Really focus on melting down. Beautiful. To the other side now, palms up. I'm going to shift my rib cage to the side. Other arm comes up and over. There we go. And I'm holding tight through my belly button to keep from falling out of the chair. Beautiful. Top arm comes back. Arms lower to your sides and a couple of nice easy shoulder rolls to let that go. Okay, so we took the spine side to side. Let's take it front to back with a cat-cow. So hands on your knees. You're still perched on the edge of your chair. Tall through your spine. Get as long as you can before you start to bend. And I like to start the bend at the pelvis. So I'm going to tuck my tail between my legs, point my belly button up at my nose, and then just continue to arch. Tuck the chin. Stretch down the back. Then open up tall, lift up, 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 but then continue moving the pelvis. Tilt the pelvis forward so your belly button points down toward the floor. And then you're going to arch up and back. So essentially, you're curving your spine one way and then curving it the other way. Trying to keep it nice and long and open. This is a really good move to sync with your breath as well. So exhale down into cat and inhale, fill up into cow. Beautiful. And end up back in upright and neutral. Very nice. So we went side to side, we went front to back. Let's take the spine rotationally. So I'm going to cross my arms like a genie, Lift up tall and just gently twist. And again, I'm going to stop when I feel the resistance and just come back the other way. Stop when I feel the resistance. You might feel the resistance in your upper back, or you might feel it in your lower back across the top of your hips. You never know. It doesn't matter. Wherever it asks you to stop is a good place to stop. Excellent. That is a good warm up, loosen up. So let's take our shoulders into some easy circles. I'm going to keep my arms down low next to my sides and just circle small little circles. Just easy circles. Try to feel the ball and socket joint. Let's try to feel your arm circling in that. It's a bit of a pocket in your bones. It's a lot more muscle in your shoulder than bone. And then I'm going to reverse direction, circle the other way. Good. Hopefully with your arms down low like this, they don't wear out quite so much. They don't hurt quite so much. Good. Bring your arms to rest by your sides, and let's focus on some external rotation through the shoulders. So starting out, I want your arms hanging down by your sides so your thumbs are forward. So I'm sitting up tall, my thumbs are facing front. I'm going to think about turning my whole arm out to the side. So at the end, I'm going to have my palm forward, but I'm turning my whole upper arm too. Just turning palms out. I'm going to turn until I feel a little bit of a squeeze right up at the top back of my shoulders, right? And then I'm going to release that and try again. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders a little bit back on my torso, and rotate the whole arm to the outside. You might get your palm facing front. You might even get your pinkies facing front, depending on how much range of motion you've got in your shoulders. And come back to the start. And let's do that one more time. You might feel a stretch in your biceps as much as you feel the squeeze in the back of the shoulder, because that is a nice bicep stretch. In fact, while you're in your end position, flex your wrists so that you pull your fingers back and feel a little more stretch in your arms. Oh, yes. Beautiful. And relax, give them a shake and a wiggle. That looked really good. All right. Let's do, I think we have room to do a little hard move. So corset laced up tight, really draw in on your belly button. Think about being completely encased in muscle through here. You have those muscles. I'm going to lean back a little bit. You'll feel those muscles kick in as you lean back. Reach your hands forward, palms up, and extend one leg. How about that? Keep lifting up tall through your spine, and you have half a boat pose. Beautiful. So a little bit easier is sitting more upright. A little bit harder is leaning back a little bit more. You pick your poison. But we're still holding, aren't we? And hopefully you're breathing. And let's let that go. That felt like enough. Remember, if you're feeling that more in your back, really draw in the front or sit up a little bit more upright, and that will help. So I'm going to lace up, lean back, arms out, palms up, and other leg extends. And I'm just trying to stay as long as I can through my spine, not letting myself collapse down, right? We want to keep nice and long and upright. Belly in, Breathing. Beautiful. Release that back down. And let's do a couple of nice, easy shoulder shrugs. Up, back, and melt it down. Beautiful. Up, back, and relax it down. Nice. Let's get a few little stretches to open up across the chest in front of the shoulders. So I'm going to tuck my fingertips behind my ears, sit up tall, and then I'm just going to pull my elbows back, 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 pinching together in the middle of my back and opening up across the front of the shoulders and chest. You can let go of your ears to get your arms in whatever position feels good for you. I'm going to release that. In fact, let's do this as repetitions. So big inhale as you open and exhale back closed. And inhale, open, up and apart, and closed. Hopefully you can feel that stretch right through there. Keeping those muscles open can actually really help with your shoulder health. Beautiful. Release your arms, easy shoulder shrug. And let's come at that from a slightly different angle. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back, draw my shoulders together in back. Just from there, you should start to feel a stretch. If you feel like you want a little more stretch, just lean forward a little bit and try to lift your hands up off your back. Just go until you feel a good stretch that you can hold. Take a couple of deep breaths. You might find just filling up your lungs helps enhance the stretch there. Beautiful. Lower your arms and give them a shake. We always need a good shake. All right. So we loosened up rotationally. Let's take a deep stretch that way now. So nice and tall. One hand reaches across your lap to the outside of the opposite knee. So reach all the way across and hold on to the outside. Lift up tall through your spine and then just keep on turning the way you started. So you're going to look over your shoulder like you're backing up the car. If you want, you can grab the back of your chair to help hold you there. You're going to come just till you hit that resistance and then take a deep breath. As you inhale, pull up tall. As you exhale, see if there's just a smidge more rotation to be had. Inhale, pull up tall. Exhale, keep the tall and see if you can rotate just a bit more. And then hold for a couple of nice deep breaths. So you're stretched, but I want you relaxed. And then unwind carefully and slowly back to the front. Excellent. Good, good, good. Straighten out again in the middle and let's go the other way. Hand across your lap to the outside of the opposite knee. Lift through your spine and start to look over your shoulder. Just until you hit the resistance and take a big deep breath in. Grow tall. And as you exhale, see if you can rotate just a bit more. Inhale, tall. Exhale, rotate. And then hold for a couple of nice deep breaths. Try to relax into that twisted position. And then unwind carefully back around to the front. Outstanding. I'll bet you'd like another round of cat-cow after that, just to make sure everything's nice and straight in the middle. So tall through your spine, arch it one way, and arch it the other way. I love a cat-cow to reset after a twist. Beautiful, very nice. Okay, let's come down to the feet. I'm going to pick up one knee, hold it in my hand, or you can hold underneath, or you can just work with your leg hanging if it's comfortable. I'm going to start with a point and flex at the ankle. And I'm going to dig in a little bit. I want to really point as hard as I can and pull in. Try to find the full range of motion there. Use the whole foot. And then I'm going to start to circle at the ankle. So nice, big, loose circle. If you're holding your knee, you'll feel that you can't cheat with your whole leg, right? So just move at the ankle. Feel the muscles all the way up the leg, stretching as you do that. And reverse direction on your circles. Beautiful. Good. I didn't hear any explosive pops on that side. Let's try the other leg. Hold on to your knee, sit up tall, and let's go for the point and flex first. Oh, there was the first pop. And then circle. And switch directions. Excellent. Okay, let's stretch the front of the thigh. We're going to do this by turning sideways in our chair, halfway on the chair and halfway off. So I'm sitting on the chair with one leg and I've got the other leg hanging off the front of the chair. Yep. I'm holding on to the back of the chair to keep me from sliding off. And I'm pointing the hanging knee down to the floor. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under a little bit, lift up tall through the torso, and then maybe not, pull that leg back. Depends on how much stretch you want in the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. I want you to find a comfortable position where you feel a stretch, but it doesn't hurt. And just take a deep breath there. And then we're going to take the arm that's not holding on to the back of the chair and reach up overhead if you can, and just lengthen from fingertips to toes. Hold for a couple of breaths. Release your arm and release your leg. And swing back around to the center and all the way over to the other side. So now sitting on the other leg, holding onto the back of the chair, the free hanging leg knee points down toward the floor. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit. You'll feel that stretches the front side of your hip. Lift up tall through your torso. And then take your arm that's not holding you onto the back of the chair, reach that up overhead, And think about lengthening all the way from your fingers to your toes on that side. Nice deep breaths. Release your arm and release your leg and swing back around to the front. Beautiful. Let's stretch the back side of the leg next. So one leg stretches out straight in front of you. Lift up tall through your torso. Get that imaginary broomstick down your shirt so that your spine stays nice and long. And then start to hinge forward from your hip. Right? So if you had a broomstick in your back and you tried to bend forward, it would stop you. It would say, nope, straighten up. So you straighten up, and I'm thinking about reaching my chin toward my toes. That helps me stay nice and long, helps keep my head up in line with my spine. And I'm just gently easing forward, nice and slowly. It helps if you take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just gently sink into the stretch. Beautiful. Let go. Switch legs. Sit up nice and tall. Hinge forward from the hip. Tap into the power of the breath to help you relax. The exhale is just a release. It helps me to think about stretching as a settling rather than a pushing or a pulling. I'm lengthening the muscles, but I'm doing it somewhat passively, very gently, and letting it happen at its own pace. Beautiful. Let that go. Come back up to upright, and let's get the hip stretch. So I'm going to bring one foot up onto the opposite knee. If you can't get the foot on the knee, you can always cross at the ankle. And I'm going to wiggle that knee a little bit just in case the hip is tight. If your hip still feels uncomfortably tight, you can lean back, and that will give you a little more room to rotate or stay upright. And to deepen the stretch, start to fold forward over your lap. Same thing though, think about this as a gentle settling. It's almost like I'm just waiting for the muscle to lengthen on its own, and when it does, then I move into that space. Very nice. Come on back up and try that on the other side. So sitting up tall and starting to fold forward at whatever pace and to whatever degree your muscles and joints allow. Excellent. Let that go. Untangle your legs. And let's get situated and see if we can't end on a nice, comfortable note. So I've got my feet lined up under my knees, my sit bones underneath me. I've got my spine stacked up so that my head lines up over my shoulders and over my hips, so that everything can just balance and sit there comfortably. I'm not fighting my head being forward of my spine. I'm just going to pause there and close my eyes and see if I can feel that alignment. Find a place where it doesn't feel, it feels like I'm holding myself up, but I'm not fighting anything. Mostly I'm just balanced there. I've got my hands resting on my lap. I'm going to take a second and feel the earth underneath my feet. Feel that connection there. Feel the seat underneath my seat. Again, feeling grounded and connected there. And then I'm going to bring my attention into my breath. Start with a few slow, deep, easy breaths. Really try to fill up the lungs all the way and then empty them all the way. And then gradually, I'm going to stop controlling the breath. I'm going to give up the wheel. Let the breath continue at its own pace, maybe not as deeply and slowly when it's left to its own devices. And I'm just going to watch and feel the breath. And I'm going to pay attention to how I know I'm breathing. So as I breathe in, I feel the cool breeze come in through the nostrils. I feel the air filling up my lungs. I feel the lungs and the rib cage expand and rise as I inhale. And then sink and fall and contract as I exhale. I feel the cool temperature of the breath as I inhale it, and then I feel the warm breath as I exhale it at body temperature. So in one of many magical processes in my body, that cool room temperature air gets warmed to my body temperature. And maybe if you're wearing your mask, you feel the humidity of the air as you exhale it. And maybe you can hear your breath. A slight whistling in and the sigh of the exhale. And probably by now you feel the rhythm of your breath, rocking in and out. In that timeless rhythm of the breath and the heartbeat, of the ocean waves, of the mama rock and her baby. And as you are breathing, you are aligned with that rhythm of the whole universe. Inhaling and exhaling. Every moment of your life. Even when you're not thinking about it. But anytime you want to escape from whatever's going on inside your head or around you in the world, just come back into your breath. Feel that connection between your body and the world around you. The part that really matters is always there. And you can come back to it for free anytime you like. Whenever you're ready, feel free to leave that peaceful, quiet place and come back to this place right here, right now. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. You can stretch any way that you want to. Ooh, I feel those stretches we did earlier. It feels so nice. Very good. How do you feel? All good? Nice job, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. And